Welcome, everybody, to Dick Taylor Chocolate. My name is Adam Dick, and we are guest hosting Craft Chocolate TV. We're going to talk about roasting and how we do it here at Dick Taylor Chocolate. Roasting is one of those things that we all have to do. Roasting is one of those things that has a lot of different ways to do it, a lot of different machines, a lot of different techniques, and honestly, lots of them have their pros and cons, and so we can maybe dive into a little bit, but most of us are going to talk about how we do it here. Roasting is for flavor development. We all know that. Roasting is for moisture reduction. We roast for pathogen reduction. But another really important reason that we roast is to loosen the husk from the shell in order to winnow. Different roasters will address those situations differently, and they have their advantages and disadvantages. We've done almost all of them. We've roasted on sheet pans in a convection oven, key there being convection. And so that's what's great about convection ovens is you've got lots of air circulation. So you don't have flames directly touching the beans, but you have air circulation, which is really important. And I've had lots of chocolate made in convection ovens. I think tastes fantastic. The next method that we've used and that a lot of people use are like a converted coffee roaster. Coffee roasters are great. Usually you have a little bit of larger volume. You have a constant tumbling of the beans, which is really important because with sheet pans, the beans tend to be fairly stagnant on the sheet trays. And so aside from moving or stirring or mixing them, the beans aren't moving their position too much. With a coffee roaster or drum roaster, the beans are constantly being tumbled. So you have a very even, uniform roast, and that's really great. A lot of coffee roasters, though, converted coffee roasters have a burner assembly that's below the beans and a perforated drum. And so you get, in a way, a little bit of direct contact with flame and beans. It works great in coffee when you're trying to get that really rapid flavor development, color change, almost like a controlled burning. Cocoa's a little bit different. So the one downside that I've found with roasting with the drum roasters that we have over the years is sometimes it's not as good on the beans. Recently, within the last year, we were able to purchase and get into use kind of our dream cocoa bean roaster, which is a Bart Sarco. And Bart Sarcos are really cool vintage cocoa bean roasters that I think really address a lot of the issues that are shortcomings in both of those. It takes advantage of the convection of air like you do at the convection oven. So in the roaster that we have, the burner is positioned up above the beans. And by controlling the airflow, you can control how rapidly that hot air is sucked through the beans. So we don't have direct flame contact with the beans, but rather we have convection or airflow, hot airflow. And you get tumbling and turning. So you get that same motion that you do from a drum roaster, which is really important as far as creating the right environment for that puffing of the shell. Typically, drum roasted beans will have much better shell puffing, so you'll get better separation in your next stage of winnowing. So those are a little bit of the advantages or some of the things I think are important to consider when thinking about a roaster. Now, the roaster that we have here is pretty cool. It's pretty unique. It's got a really neat story. We have a Bart Sarco 300 built in 1934, I believe. So it's been roasting cocoa beans for just a little over 90 years. It was made in Germany for an Italian company. So all the nameplates and all the little control levers and knobs are all in Italian. I pretend that I'm speaking Italian when I roast, even though I only know like 4 Italian words. The machine was rebuilt for Scharfenberger chocolate maker in around the like mid to late 90s. Scharfenberger started in 1996, and they were the first chocolate maker in 50 years in the United States to start from bean to bar. So that was a really big deal. And Scharfenberger, I believe, had 4 of these roasters. And when Hershey's purchased Scharfenberger, they sold off the equipment. And the particular roaster that we have was sold or purchased by Soma Chocolate in Toronto. And it was used there for a number of years before they upgraded their roaster. And we were able to purchase and move the roaster down here. So finally, after all these years, the roaster's back in California, in Northern California, at a small batch chocolate factory. So it's a really cool machine. We're really proud to have it. We call it Clifford, the big red dog, and it's really, really a joy to run. And I feel like it was one of those unique situations where we were able to simultaneously make a big step in the volume that we could produce, but I actually feel like the quality of the roasting that we're doing now far surpasses our previous setups with our coffee roasters. So it's been really kind of a win-win, and it's been a really neat addition to our machinery family. I hope that has been an interesting overview as we've talked about roasting or some of the ways that we do roasting here, or we've done it in the past. And hopefully we'll inform you as you guys look forward to purchasing roasters or upgrading or changing that part of your process out. So thank you. Hope it was informative.